Good update, you guys. That's important material. So let's talk about the market. Here's some of the adjectives I've been hearing. Amazing, huge, wild, incredible, insane. I consult with builders and developers all around the state, sometimes in other states, and builders in all the markets of Florida are seeing a huge rebound of demand that really is amazing. So today I'm going to talk about housing trends in the state of Florida, things that are happening today, and things that I think will evolve here in the future. I'll also mention some things that I've taken note of around the country that are harbingers of things to come in Florida. I visited some projects outside of, in Arizona, for example, that are innovative and worth studying. And I've talked with builders in California about concepts that I think are coming to Florida, and done studies in the Minneapolis-St. Paul area very recently, and starting one in Tennessee now. So I have this perspective I want to bring to you. But overall, it seems like there is a V-shaped recovery when it comes to housing. Things were rough for builders in March and early April, and new home sales have been increasing week by week since the middle of April. Home builders and developers are feeling more confident about their outlook for the rest of the year, and that's reflected by the fact that home builder stock values have doubled since March. What's driving this incredible strength during a period of economic dislocation? Oh, sure, sub 3% mortgage rates are part of the equation. It's an irresistibly low mortgage rate, and that does help draw some people out of renting and pull some people off the fence. But there's more going on than just that. The flight to the suburbs is a real trend. And in a way, these two trends, interest rates and the suburban trend, are interrelated. COVID is driving a lot of people who are now nervous about renting, especially renting in a building with an elevator lobby, and an elevator button. How many people have touched that button in the last 5 hours? Driving them to make a purchase, and the low mortgage rates just add more strength to that trend. Add to this trend a trend that I've talked to you about before, which is the millennials. They are starting to buy homes in large numbers. Now, this was happening before, but it's accelerated since then. The trigger, kids. 10 years late, millennials are having kids. And that means they want to be in the suburbs because they can have a yard and good schools and other kids around in the neighborhood. But that's just the demand side. The supply part is shifting to allow all this to happen because builders are pivoting towards the millennials. Almost all the builders have changed their product lineup to some degree to provide more homes and more choices aimed at millennials. It's a perfect storm in that all these pro-suburban housing trends are converging at the same time. And I can see all of this being manifested in the data on household formations. This is the best data for tracking and forecasting demand for new homes. And the households that are forming that want to buy are growing much faster than those who want to rent. It's a slide from Robert Dietz, who we heard from recently. And then you also have the New Yorkers that are still coming down, even now that the tables have turned and the pandemic is hitting us harder than up there. They are still coming down in elevated numbers. There's one more trend in home design that's being spurred by this pandemic that I want to talk about. People more than ever want a dedicated space for an office in their home. I was talking with Jeff Mesger the other day, and he told me about their KB Home home office package. By the way, I know you're not supposed to name drop. Never name drop. That's what Tom Cruise told me. But KB Home is making a big splash with this home office package. They're starting out with it in California right now, but it's getting ready to spread to their whole footprint. Carlos Gonzalez at Lennar told me that their next gen home is a hot item for this reason. Lennar next gen houses are designed to be multi-generational living, but people have been buying them in order to turn the extra space into a dedicated home office space. Another example of that is CC Homes, Jim Carr. He's offering a home office package as well. COVID sent the work from home trend into high gear. Homeowners have been converting garages and spare bedrooms into offices or forcing rooms to do double duty. Builder clients of mine have been telling me about the strong demand for homes with an extra bedroom. And this is why. The one thing that's been lacking is the ability to personalize the office space or to make that room work better as an office than an extra bedroom, a garage apartment, or a dining room table does. Figure out a way to differentiate your homes from those of your competitors by hitting this need head on and bring something fresh to the market. Recently, I saw that there was a report that 40% of Americans were working remotely now. 40%, up from 5% historically. Long after this pandemic is over, I would expect to see 20% of the workforce continuing to work from home. A notable case in point, Google has said that employees will be allowed to work from home until at least July 2021. Also, some people who have lost their job in this downturn have been trying to figure out ways to be more in control of their destiny, going independent as opposed to working for a company and counting on a steady paycheck. Lots of them are becoming real estate agents, and some are fueling the growth of newly emerging ways of making a living, becoming YouTubers who live and die by the number of subscribers and ad revenue, or selling products on Amazon. And then there are the YouTubers that make a living teaching people how to sell products on Amazon. Old economy or new economy, the trend is towards working from home, at least some days of the week. So a little bit more about this KB Home Office package, just talking about them because they were kind of at the forefront of really making it a cohesive campaign. So lots of other builders doing something similar. So what do they have? What is this thing? They have built-in workstations and cabinetry, an upgraded electrical package, ultra high-speed USB outlets, data connections on the desktop that's built in, custom lighting, additional windows, soundproofing for those Zoom meetings, right? And the beverage center, that's all important. Oh, and you can also get a half bath and a door that goes directly to the outside, which is useful for some kinds of businesses. They don't cost that much to start out. The KB base office package is in the $2,000 to $3,000 range. So what's that, an extra $12 to $15 a month to the monthly payment? It's not hard to justify, especially when it's a business expense. And the kids can do their homework in that space as well. So this is really catching on. By the way, KB's approach, just to let you know, they rework the floor plans of homes that are already in their catalog, moving walls, interior walls, and reconfiguring the space, but keeping the footprint and square footage the same. So I think this idea of a home office package could be a solid response for builders to respond to this change in the market. I'd advise all home builders to at least look into this kind of strategy. So I want to stick to my swim lane today and talk about things that I've seen myself in my market study work. I've been engaged lately to write market studies on single-family subdivisions, high-rise apartments, suburban rental apartments, beach-oriented developments, and built-for-rent single-family. Let's focus on some major developments here in the South Florida market. Southeast Florida is particularly short on home building land. So we look at Avenir. This is one of the few new communities left to develop in Palm Beach County due to the exhaustion of developable land. As of very recently, Avenir had more than 2,000 lots committed and includes builders such as Kenco Communities, K. Hovnanian, Toll Brothers, and Panther National. 2,000 lots committed out of a total of 3,900. This is an important source of future supply in a lot-starved market. And you thought golf communities were dead? Nicholas is going to create the private golf community and centerpiece amenity of Panther National, an 18-hole championship Jack Nicklaus signature course. And this thing's going to have a 10-acre crystal lagoon, white sand beaches. Have you seen these things? The Crystal Lagoon people came to my office and showed me this concept about 10 or 15 years ago, and I was fascinated, and now here it is. Let's look at some statistics. In all of Palm Beach County, in the second quarter of this year, there were 939 permits pulled for new single-family homes. That's up 8% from 1 year earlier, and still much lower than back when there was development all along State Road 7, 441, east of the Turnpike, west of the Turnpike, and when Abacoa was going at the same time as Wellington and Lake Worth. Today it's 939 and a quarter, but it feels like less than that. I guess it's like when you go in 85 on the Turnpike and you think there's a cop ahead and you slow down to 55 and it feels like you're crawling, but you're actually still moving at a pretty normal pace. Looking a little farther north, we're seeing a huge surge of demand in St. Lucie County. Directly adjacent to Tradition, GL Homes is developing and building homes in a new age-restricted 11,000 lot master plan community called Riverland. At their Valencia K and Valencia Grove neighborhoods within Riverland, GL has sold nearly 700 homes in their first 12 months. I'll let that sink in. And that's including the COVID interruption, which did slow things down momentarily. It boosts the total new home volume in all of St. Lucie County dramatically. This is an unprecedented volume for nearly any market, and that's particularly true for this market, the Treasure Coast. The Treasure Coast is destined for rapid growth in the next 10 years and well beyond. The Tradition Master Plan communities saw a 62% increase in the first half compared in total sales compared with the first half of 2019. Families, empty nesters, and retirees have flocked to this community. Mattamy has 7,500 home sites left to build. Remember those billboards along I-95 from the old days in northern Palm Beach County saying save $2,000 per mile by going up to St. Lucie? I talked with Dan Groswald at Mattamy, and he said it's about the value. You can get more for your money, and you know that's the driver. With that in mind, I'll go ahead and conclude. Anybody who hasn't checked out my website lately, there is a lot of new information that I've posted there, hunterhousingeconomics.com. I really appreciate the time to spend with you all today, so thank you, and hope to hear from all of you in the near future.